All right, welcome back to the Really Okay Hockey Podcast. A little different format tonight. It's just myself and Jurky here. We got a couple of guys that got some other plans. Zach is on his way out of town, actually. So we thought we'd get this episode in, and then we'll hopefully be back and do some location pods here pretty soon, too. So stuff to look forward to. We've had some issues trying to get in. Scheduling conflicts, technical difficulties. We recorded 2 episodes and recorded 0 sound for them. So it was very hard to hit the delete button on those episodes. But, you make do. And then, still me dealing with my kind of back issues. But we are finally back and we'll hopefully be somewhat regular going forward. No promises. But yeah, so it's been busy months. I think February was our last pod right after St. Louis, right?
Yeah, it was right after St. Louis, and then it was right before like the trade deadline speculation started kicking up.
Yeah.
And we were getting game notes for that. And then life just caught up with us.
Yeah, it's been a wild few months for Warrior, for NHL, for us. Some big news. If you're following our socials, you probably know, but we have a Really Okay Hockey team that we've been playing on. The 4 of us play on it, and then a lot of our friends and teammates that we've had over the years. A lot of the Warrior guys. I don't know if we have anyone on the team currently that's like a civilian. Oh, Ben's a civilian, I suppose, and James.
Ben, James,
Adley is, but he hasn't been out yet.
yeah, that's true.
So,
But yeah, it's all friends of the group, friends of the veteran community here, and it's used as a place that's truly for having a good time. There's a big trend that I've seen throughout the years where everybody's a tryhard, everybody wants to win, and then people let their emotions show and they get the better of themselves and they start bickering back and forth. But the big mantra of this Really Okay team is that we go on the ice having a great time, and then regardless of the outcome, we're having a great time coming off the ice.
yeah, absolutely.
It's mainly an outlet mentally and physically, no harping on each other, complete positive atmosphere. I think it honestly all starts with the culture, where, we're making beats to the lineups. We got a DJ, Beats is the nickname.
Yeah.
Right there behind Nader is that pink flamingo chain. So player of the game gets Vicky is her name.
Named her.
Yep.
Yeah, we modeled our jerseys. They're gold, like the Vegas Golden Knights gold jerseys, and we went through 5-hole, and they knocked it out of the park with the jerseys. Like tons of compliments on every time we wear them out. Everybody looks great. I remember
It's beautiful.
Our first, I want to say 5 or 6 games. It was just we were wearing random sweaters every game, and that first game we came out looking like a real squad. It was beautiful.
I'm pretty sure we've been complimented our new jerseys every time we've stepped out on the ice, just because we're in Vegas, almost the exact same colors of Vegas Golden Knights. They love it. Yeah. We either get the heavy compliments or we get the heavy eye rolls. Either way, they love it.
Yeah, you and I are kind of like creatures of excess, and we kind of like the being bold and out there and stuff.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about. Yeah. I was the first guy when before I moved here. I'm like, hey, when are we getting the gold buckets? Like I don't care, man. We got to separate ourselves, and I think starting with these jerseys is kind of like for me, it's a no-brainer, but it's more of a wow factor too. Like hell yeah, Vegas is a hockey town.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we're rolling, like it looks great. Like, oh man, it's fun. I might try to wear it to a game. And they're all they're all sewn on too, so it looks like they're like super nice. Like 5-hole did an amazing job, and they became so popular. We're starting 2 additional teams here in Vegas, another lower division, and then another kind of same division, just in the Henderson area. And both those rosters filled up like crazy quickly too. So
Hell
people
yeah.
are dying to get on, and like that's like the culture of it. I think is the big thing. Like we've played, like the bulk of us have played together for a couple years now, and it always seems like there's one or two maybe like skaters that just take it way too seriously, like you said. And I mean, we're not trying to win the cup, like this is our hobby, this is a fun outlet for us, mentally and physically. And so creating that culture of yeah, like the goal every time we step out is to win the game, and we want to win at the end of the season, obviously. But like if we don't, we don't. Like nobody cares. Like we lost in spectacular fashion last night, uh, as of this recording, obviously. And I remember I won't say how it transpired, but the last goal that went in for the game-winning goal for the other team, I just laughed. I was on the bench laughing like a crazy person. Like there was a few of us that were just laughing, like we couldn't believe it. But I mean, they're good games, when you're having fun playing hockey. Like losing sucks, but like at the end of the day, who cares? We're having fun, we're playing together, and it's our own thing.
Yeah, I'll break the silence on that one. I served a fat muffin pass right to the other team, looking to break it out, and had a breakaway, threw a stick in there, trying to mess him up, but he buried it. Got to give props to him. I just rolled off my heel weird, man. I mean, it happens.
Oh, I did it I want to say I did it twice in the game. Like I tried to send a pass, like I saw a beautiful pass open up, and I fucking I'm cursing, but I would try to send off the pass, and I just flubbed it so hard.
So to be fair, I did assist on that game tying goal.
Yeah.
So I got the regroup started, and we tied it 6-6. And then literally the next shift right after the puck drop, I think there was maybe like 20 seconds left. And I got the puck looking for the regroup, and I see somebody wide open on the far blue line. I'm like, all right, if I could just sauce this over everybody and their mother, and it gets just to that area, we're going in on a 3-on-2. And I try to kind of lean back, try to really get under it, and it fucking rolls right off my heel. I don't get a whole lot of it, and it goes right to the F1, pressuring me, and I'm already backpedaling to the opposite side, and he's cutting to the middle. I'm like, all right, so I got to transition. I got to stick in there, but he held it strong, and he waited and waited and waited until when Ian was on the floor, and it is what it is.
Yeah, he was a solid player. Like I know first shift, he surprised me. I was telling you before we started this, but he surprised me. Like I had my first shift. We were in the ozone, and I had good space, and I was trying to get the puck to sit on my stick right, and I start looking for like a pass or if I'm going to shoot it, and then the puck's just gone off my stick, and I look up and he's just starts skating away. I'm like, what? I was like, no way. Like I gotta save some face from this. And I went as hard as I could. It's like, I'm gonna back check good. First shift I got legs still, and I went as hard as I could, and I could not catch up to him. And I didn't catch up to him until he took it down in the corner, and I ended up taking a penalty because I was, he's a good player, so I'm going to play a good player a little bit more aggressively. And I ended up, I don't think it was a can opener. I think I just hooked him, and he fell. I mean, it was a good hook. It was no dive on his part or anything like that. But, and then I saw one ref, he didn't have his hand up. So I'm like, all right, I'm good. It's just, incidental contact or whatever. And sure enough, as soon as we touched the puck again, I heard the whistle go, and I was like, oh man, I couldn't believe it.
But we did kill that penalty. So.
Yeah, I was super worried because seeing how he played, I was like, oh god, we're gonna.
I mean, you should have known from the kid that was wearing a old Russian jersey with the CCCP on it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here goes this guy.
Yep. So I mean, it was a great game. Like I said, we lost, but I mean, it's just that kind of culture we created, and I think every beer league team should do this. Like, I mean, I know people are competitive. Like I'm a competitive person too. Like, during the game, I want to go as hard as I can, and we're trying to talk about it, like coach each other during the game. But I think if every team did that, where it's like, all right, yeah, like we're just here having fun.
I think there'd be less bullshit.
Yeah, definitely.
On and off the ice if people strive to make the environment a lot better, safer, kinder, and more, lack for a better word, more professional.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in locker rooms where, like, it was like after a tough loss, like last night we had, and like you just got dudes like cussing and freaking out, or like sometimes
throwing shit.
Yeah, they're taking their gear off, slamming it in their bag. They don't say a word, and it is so awkward, and it's like the worst to be a part of because you're like these are all my friends. Like,
yeah, like you feel that.
Yeah, we had a crap game, but like now I feel like I can't talk to my friends. So like getting that out of a locker room, like try to talk to these guys, obviously, like let them know, but like eventually you just got to cut ties and be like,
what's done is done.
Yeah. And we got begged. Like our goal before we started this team was the four of us just wanted to play together, for the content, for the channel and everything. And we tried that, and it wasn't looking like we'd all be able to fit on one team. And then we had our teammates now, like a lot of us came up to us and like, hey, like, can you start a team that we can play on where we can just have fun? And everybody's kind of on board. Like, yeah, we want to win, but we're just playing. We're just having fun. It's a game. And so like doing stuff like that, stuff like Vicky, it's just a great time. It's so hard. We've been crazy full every single game. This next game will be I think our lowest, and we might still have a full squad. But like I have subs that I've been trying to like Tetris fit them into games because everyone that plays full time shows up every week. We barely ever have anyone out, and subs are signing up weeks in advance, like they want to play, and that's out of all. I've been playing for I think like 10 years. You've been playing longer. Like I've never played on a team like that where like you're figuring out the day of or the day before who do I have to exclude because you just got too many people, and then you're trying to figure out how you can get them in next week. So it's been amazing. We are all having a blast. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some hardware, but if not, who cares?
Who cares, man? I'm having a blast playing with everybody. Like working on stuff that I can take and transfer into Warrior tournaments, and if I get a call for another Senior A weekend, like I still work on stuff and try to get everybody involved. I think that's one of the biggest thing is, everybody wants to have, ringers out there that's going to go end to end. And, of course, every team's got that, but I think getting everybody involved, especially the guys that don't get to play as often, like, Belzy, I know he's a firefighter with Zach, and he just like Zach, he doesn't get a whole lot of opportunity, balancing, his life off the ice, work, and I'm sure kids, and balancing all of that. So giving him the opportunity to play the game and not just spectate it is that's what reaches to me, for sure.
Yeah, and having like some days some guys that are brand new will be starting top line. Like we don't officially have a top line. It rotates every week. Like we'll have subs top line, we'll have normal guys, and try to keep them the same. I've been trying to do that as the team manager, but at the same time, like everyone has their upsides and downsides, and getting everyone together and working together is that's the goal.
Yeah, no, I'm having a good time with really okay, for sure. No, it's definitely my team to be on.
Yeah.
So appreciate it, Nate, for putting that on together.
Yeah, I mean it's all of us, but it's nice too because like I said, the majority of the team is on our Warrior team, the Las Vegas Warriors. It just got their start. We've been playing on a couple other teams, our veteran teams beforehand, but now we have our official Warrior team, so that's cool.
One step closer. I know teams like the Carolina Warriors, the Dallas Stars Warriors, the Philadelphia Warriors, they all have these partnerships with their adjacent NHL team, and it starts by by representing with the name and the logo, which I find pretty awesome. Is with the new Las Vegas Warrior logo, you have that kind of Knights helmet on the front,
Yeah.
where it's like hey, we represent you guys when we go to these national tournaments. We represent you guys when we, do these events where we give back to the community. And no, it's really exciting to see where this new Las Vegas Warriors team can go. With the help from the Veterans Social Club, we've been able to, I think, field 2 teams.
Yeah, we should have 2 teams that are going to Tampa in, I think it's like first weekend in November.
Early November, yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna, like last year, we were supposed to go to Tampa in October, but hurricane season kind of nixed that for us. So hopefully, early November's late enough that that's kind of all done for. Because I was really looking forward to Tampa, and we got a lot of good friends and people that follow us in Tampa. Good Warrior people down there, and it'll be really nice to see them, especially because I had to miss St. Louis. So I think it's been like over a year since I played Warrior now. So
and I think early November is a really good time because you have October, and then you have that small like gray area between Thanksgiving and then really after Thanksgiving up until the next year. People got families. You got wife and kids. I got wife and kids. That's prime family time right there. So I think having it November early, and then after that, you can recover and get ready for prime family time. But
yeah, we also with Warrior, and you were talking about the NHL sponsorship. We got picked up as part of the VGK Foundation grant. So our Las Vegas Warriors will be getting a nice donation from them, and that's the start of this kind of hopefully future partnership to be able to represent.
Shout out to them. Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So it's huge. I think we've done a pretty good job raising money so far on our own, but that's going to be a good sizable cash dump, and that's part of the reason that we're able to take 2 teams to Tampa. So pretty much everybody that tried out, well, not really tried out, but came to the skills showcases we did, they'll get to go to Tampa if they want to, and that's a big part thanks to the VGK and the VGK Foundation. So big shout out to them. Thank you so much, Kim Frank and everyone as part of that organization. We're hoping to represent very well, do you guys proud and build on this relationship, and hopefully maybe wear that gold one day.
Yeah, thank you so much. It made it seem like you're almost throwing a paycheck at an organization, but this money really does help veterans rehabilitate through the sport of hockey. And like Nate said, I hope we can bring something back home to let you guys know and let everybody know that Las Vegas is a hockey town.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a hockey town for years too. That was one of the things we put out on the new Las Vegas Warriors Instagram page. Go check it out. But I think Vegas has had a hockey team since early '90s, in some form, and it's been slow getting the public involved, but the Knights doing so well has just
awesome
blown it up.
They won the cup. Come on now.
Yeah.
You get a bag of misfits, and this is coming from a Capitals fan. You get a bag of misfits, and they make this incredible run to the Stanley Cup Final with players that nobody wanted.
Yeah.
Straight up. Players that nobody wanted. They said, hey, we're not protecting these guys. Good luck. Guys like Shea Theodore, William Karlsson, David Perron, guys like that, that created this culture of we are a hockey team. This is a hockey town. we're going to fight our balls off. And they make it to the Stanley Cup final. And, Caps get their first one. But years after that, they continue to be a playoff contender and win their first Stanley Cup before numerous of other teams that have been around the league for years.
Yeah.
And it's exciting for me. Yeah, I'm kind of new to Vegas in comparison, but it's exciting for me to see a very unlikely town, as an outsider speaking, to be this big hockey hub. Like, I don't think I've really been in a hockey town like Vegas before, where I'm literally seeing the logo everywhere,
Oh yeah.
and people
absolutely.
have the shirts on their backs, and it's exciting for a young man from North Carolina to see.
Yeah. And like I came from the Chicago area, so I wasn't always into hockey, but like the Hawks were everywhere, especially after their cup runs. And like I got excited. I knew I was coming to Vegas, and like they had the team just starting to set up, and I got excited because I had been playing hockey for a few years at that point when I decided to move here. And I knew if the team was going to be here, then the hockey culture, like in town, was going to be growing too. And so it was super easy for me to jump in and, start making connections here in town, even though I didn't know anybody. So, yeah, Vegas is a fantastic hockey town.
No, I love it. Yeah, with the Las Vegas Warriors, we're doing a lot more. Well, obviously, in the really okay hockey team, we're doing a lot more outreach to these other veteran groups, and one of them is the collab with Coast to Coast. Did you want to touch on that?
Yeah. So, so for the last year, I've been dealing with a lot of back issues. I went with Drew to Dallas. We did the police and fire tournament down there, and right before then I hurt my back working out, which was unfortunate because I was getting in pretty great shape. Like nothing to brag about obviously, but I had noticed a huge difference like in hockey and just my overall health. And I was getting really excited. I was like, I'm going to go down to this tournament and do really well because I'm in great shape now. Better shape. I wouldn't say great shape, but and then I got this one little tweak in my back, messing with the kettlebell, and I thought it was just like a pulled muscle, something like that. So I went. I think I played golf like twice that week. I didn't work out that week, but I played golf twice.
Probably not the smartest move.
That was a terrible idea. Looking back. And then I went down to Dallas, and I noticed that I couldn't really perform. I was in pain constantly, and I made it through 3 of our 4 standard games, and after the 3rd game, I was walking off the ice, and I was like, I had to use my sticks to help me get to the locker room, because like it was so crippling. My wrist was kind of acting up too, but my back, like I was like slowly sitting down, and I told him, I was like, I don't have another one. Like I can barely move now, and we had a game that afternoon. It was our 2-a-day, and I remember we went back to the room, and I showered, and I could barely shower. And I was like, I messed something up good. Came back, went and got it looked at, and I had 2 bulging discs. And then I took the entire summer off after that. I think until like October, I didn't do anything. Like I was on the couch constantly. It was pretty awful for my, my mental health, because I was used to being really active. I was working out a lot, playing golf a lot, and I went from all that to nothing, like barely being able to walk, and fought for some months, taking it slow, making sure I could heal up. And then I slowly got back into hockey in like October, played for like a couple months, and then it was right after Christmas, like a couple days, I started getting terrible nerve pain. And then I think a week after Christmas, I couldn't even walk anymore, because I couldn't stand straight up. Like it was just unbearable pain. So shout out to anybody that deals with that on the regular, because it was awful. Went and saw doctor again, more MRIs, and I got referred to the surgeon. The surgeon was like, I want to get you in as soon as I can, because if we don't, that pain might become permanent. Because like I couldn't walk, my foot was completely numb. And he was super worried, or he wanted a paycheck. I guess we'll never know. But
fuck that, dude.
it was like a Thursday. I think I saw him, and he finally gave me some good drugs. I think that weekend was the first time I stood up because the drugs just completely numbed me. And then Tuesday I had surgery, and I remember I had been looking up the surgery all weekend, and a lot of what I saw was the little microscopic surgery where they put like, just a couple little rods in your back and do what they need to, and then you just got two little holes. And I kept telling
Fucking
my
Tin
wife,
Man.
yeah, I kept telling my wife, I was like, we have St. Louis in a month. I was like, I've been looking the surgery up. I think I'm gonna be good to go, and I'm still gonna go play. And she's like, you're not playing. There's no way you're playing. My wife's in the healthcare industry. She knew. Um, and she's like, you have zero chance to play. And then like the day of the surgery, the doctor fully explained what he was doing, and I got a zipper on my back now. And I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. And so it was good though, because that same night I walked for the first time in like weeks, like without pain meds and all that kind of stuff. And so it was a really slow recovery. It was hard again because, being used to being an active person. I think I played more PlayStation in like 3 months than I ever have. And
I mean, what else can you do?
right, I was stuck in a recliner for 6 weeks. I slept in it, pretty much lived in it. You okay? Your camera just cut out and you're muted.
Yeah, sorry, I had a breach and clear situation here.
So yeah, I lived in this recliner for like 6 weeks before I even thought about trying to sleep in a bed. Um, and sleeping in the bed for the first time, even after that long, hurt a lot. So I had to kind of relearn how to like do normal stuff. Um, and I think it was like Memorial Day. I saw people doing the Murph and everything, and that was kind of when the doctor was like, okay, you can start to kind of be normal. You know, um, they had told me after the surgery, walk as much as you can. It's going to help. Um, but like I couldn't do anything outside of that. But like when
Just kind of get the blood flowing again,
yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah.
like use your body. That's like all you are allowed to do. And I did that as much as I could. I think I was going through a bit of depression, so I didn't do it as much as I should have. But it was Memorial Day. I started seeing the Murph. People do the Murph, and I was like, I've never done this before. I kind of want to do this, and that's when I brought it up to you guys. If you guys wanted to do it with me, and you guys were all on board immediately, and so I started thinking, I was like, maybe we can make something out of this. And we decided to bring it up to our friends at Coast to Coast. So they're a nonprofit, and they raise money, and they take care of special forces operators, former special forces operators, with like their health care, specific, like with a big focus on their mental health, and trying to get them as much help as they can. And they take care of like all their Gold Star families and everything like that. They do a big ride across the country every year. One of their stops is here in Vegas, where we first kind of ran into them, and they have a big hockey game, and everybody wears a jersey, but instead of your name on the back, it's the name of a fallen special operator. And so like I've done it twice, and it's easily the hardest skate of the year, because you're not just representing like the logo on the front or your name or anything like that. You're representing a fallen service member. And so like everyone that plays in that game, like that's the hardest you're going to see them play ever, because you're wearing that name on the back, and you don't want to, represent poorly, because it's like broadcast live on the internet and everything. And, you got their families out there looking for, their family member on the jersey. And if they see you just kind of sitting there puttering it around, you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to do a disservice. So like, that's one of the funnest games to play in.
I mean, you kind of want to skate your balls off, because I mean, they
Yeah.
gave the ultimate sacrifice. I have a good friend, Sam Savard. I met her through my sister years ago, back in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and she is a Gold Star spouse for Operator
Savard.
Ryan Savard, yeah. And apparently that whole hockey game, not just the hockey game, but one of the core starts of Coast to Coast is because of Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy to see Sam there at the game. I didn't get to wear Ryan's jersey, but it's a lot more than just hockey.
Yeah.
And like you said, you don't want to go out there and start gaggling around. You want to skate your balls off. You want to compete in a hard, physical, fast game. And and I've only played in it once, and I had a blast. It's like you sit in the locker room, and it just kind of has that vibe to it, where it's like, yeah, I'm locked in. I'm ready to go. I mean, especially when you're skating and playing up against guys like Gage Quinney.
Yeah.
Henderson Silver
last
Knights.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. And he played quite a handful of games in the NHL for the Vegas Golden Knights too. So it's like, he's out there, he's working the puck, he's skating. It's like, yes, I want to match that.
Yeah. I got to play my first year. I played with Shane Hanaidi too. So, you never
That's
know
awesome.
who you're gonna see at these, but. So yeah, we have experience with them. Obviously, Lieutenant Mike Murphy was a Navy SEAL, so he's a special operator. He was a special operator. Was given the Medal of Honor for his sacrifice in Operation Red Wings, and so we decided that since we're going to do the MRF, we can raise money for the Coast to Coast Foundation and for the Las Vegas Warriors. Kind of split it between them to like motivate us, I suppose, and to make good of kind of what we're doing. I decided, when I first started seeing people do the MRF, I was like, I want to, this past year has been physically one of the worst years of my life. This next year, I want to work as hard as I can to undo that. And so, we're all working out. We post in our little group chat every day, checking in for, working out and stuff, and following diets and everything. And that's the one thing I want to make sure is, I've done fad diets before, but I want to avoid it. I've done the low carb stuff, and I actually lost a good bit of weight about that, with that. But those kind of diets for most people aren't sustainable, and so the idea is, we're going to post stuff on the channel. We have done it a little bit. We're going to continue to do it, and we're going to post healthy living habits, so things you can change about your everyday life that is going to make you naturally healthier, and just naturally kind of lose weight. I posted a video about soda. I've been switched to, I can't remember the last time. It's been at least a month or so, maybe more, since I had a full sugar soda, just because there's tons of calories. All those sugar is terrible for you, and there's great options to to still be able to drink soda, but at the same time remain healthy. Drinking lots more water, making smart decisions when you're picking out your food. I've been meal prepping, which is difficult habit to get into. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
It's not also nice too. The days when you're prepping kind of sucks at first. You get used to it because I've done it before, but it's also nice when you wake up on the days and your meal's already ready. You just heat it up real quick and you got food immediately there, and it's a good food. The big thing is lots of a big bulk of food, nutritious food to fill you up so you don't have those snacking urges, but at the same time still be low calorie, high protein, all that kind of stuff. Not avoiding carbs or fats or anything like that, just trying to regulate them.
Need those to burn, baby.
Yeah, exactly. I got the Ninja Creamies, so I've been making protein ice cream, which is phenomenal. Highly recommend it. I want to look up how to make the ice cream without the Ninja Creamy and post a video about that, with one of the
that'll be cool.
The recipes that way. Because the Ninja Creamies are expensive and not everybody has that kind of money, so I think doing something like that will be good for people, that they can easily make some kind of healthy ice cream, on their own. So yeah. So we're doing all this next year, next Memorial Day. We're going to get together, hopefully with anyone that wants to join us, and we're going to do the Murph, everyone together. And over the next year, we have the links already in our bios. We're going to be raising money for the Coast to Coast Foundation to continue on to their mission, and our Las Vegas Warriors to, keep on our mission of helping veterans. So
I remember doing the Murph when I was still active, and every time we did the Murph, I fucking hated it. It was terrible. But when you look back at why it's called the Murph, you're like, oh shit, you're putting yourself through this rigorous exercise that's supposed to simulate, the what happened with, Murphy.
yeah,
I know myself, I've been finally getting back into the gym after like a month and I'm in a month and a half going strong. I feel much better. Same thing with the diet. We've been doing this food subscription called Hungry Root, where they send you vegetables, meats, the carbs. It's all healthy stuff, and it takes like 5 minutes to cook all of it, and it's packed with protein, good fats, carbs, and it's fucking delicious, man. Like yesterday I had this salmon Caesar salad. Oh my god, it is delicious, but it's great. It's great. It's great for me. I think I actually had one before our game, and like I said, with the exercising, and I've been switching up my leg exercises. Like I've been trying RDLs a lot more, just to target my hamstrings. And I used to not be able to touch the floor when I stretched down to reach for my toes. I could touch the floor now. I can grab the bottom of my feet. And taking that to the ice is, oh man, I wish I started doing it sooner.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're all, like you said, we're all keeping each other accountable. I know I've had a pretty busy schedule this week. So starting tomorrow, I got to bang out 3 in a row. So I got, chest tries tomorrow. Friday I got legs, and then Saturday we have a skate with Vegas Veteran. Is it the Vegas Veteran Hockey Foundation, or is it Las Vegas Warriors?
It's VVHF on Saturday.
Yeah, so VVHF skate, and then right after that skate, I'm going into my back and buys.
Yeah.
So yeah, no after skate beers or anything like that for me.
Yeah, I've been loving getting back in the gym. Mine's a lot slower because I'm dealing with my back still, so I can't throw around as much weight. But I think that's an important thing too, is when you're out of practice, like in the gym, or you're first starting to really get into it, like to not ego lift, to go slow and build it properly, because it helps a ton. Like as you move down the line, it's so much easier if you're using the the proper weights and actually getting everything out of your work,out, like
doing it correctly.
Yeah, and like
that's the big thing.
You and I have talked a few times about like some of our favorite like social media influencers for for lifting and stuff, and like just taking some of their tips and like trying it for the first time. Like one of my big things with my lats, I hit for the first time, and I followed Jeff Nippard, and I did it how he was talking about, and I like immediately like trying the exercise for the first time. I was like, wow, this is insanely more than I've ever gotten out of it. So it's a lot of fun getting back into it. I won't be there Saturday because I'm going on vacation, so I'll be sure to post a picture about that. But like even like gauging from my first skate, I came back, I think it was a VHF skate, and like I almost threw up on the ice. And like I've never actually thrown up from like a workout, cardio, anything like that. And like I had to sit there for my last shift like for a couple minutes on the ice. The place went away from me, and I just sat there. And I remember Jeff asking me like, "You all right?" And I was like, "If I move, I'm throwing up, so I just need a minute." And like to like last night, I think it's been like a month maybe, and like I can feel getting some of my quickness back. Like I still got a long way to go, but like my body never forgot like what I want to do in hockey. I just couldn't do it right away, and seeing that kind of build back up slowly is a lot of fun. And so like I want to focus on improving my hockey in the next year, like really getting the most out of my workouts. And like, I don't have a goal in mind. Like, that's a big thing, is you're supposed to set a goal. Like, I want to go down a pant size or drop 10 pounds and something like that. And you can kind of set your calories to that. Count your calories is the big thing. But I think I'm just going to keep making these like healthy moves and lifestyle changes and see how deep I can get, in this next year. So like I've cut out a lot of calories. Like I don't order fast food and stuff like that. There's a bit there where I ordered fast food almost every meal while I was injured, and recovering, which is awful, because it just added to my problems. But yeah, so over the next year, it's going to be interesting, and we'll get to raise some money, hopefully, for CXC and the Warriors, and kind of together in this boat, and hopefully other people will join us. I think we're kind of looking to do it maybe in Boulder City, which is kind of right outside Henderson, not very far from center of Vegas for those watching. But we want it to be a big group thing. So like whether you're a vet, first responder, just regular civilian, like we want to have as many people there to kind of do this with us, to kind of do it in honor of all these, these veterans that have passed. And I think it's going to be a really good year for us. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to suck, but.
Oh yeah, this is a good suck.
Yeah, it's going to be a good suck for sure.
Yeah.
So I did want to give a shout out as we move on. I did want to give a shout out to the UNLV Rebels.
Yeah,
we did cover it.
Guys.
Yeah, we did cover it early on, but again, we had technical difficulties on the episode. They won their first ACHA National Championship in St. Louis. They beat the Adrian College Bulldogs 7-3. Again, huge step for Las Vegas, huge step for Nevada.
Oh yeah.
Just reasserting that we are a hockey town. So yeah, not a whole lot of details here. We weren't there, but huge shout out to them. Congratulations, boys. Let's keep it up. Let's keep recruiting, practicing, and getting after it. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I saw their post today about it. They made another post. One of the Mentally We're Here posts, and inspired one of my posts today too. But it was cool seeing it, and they've been around town, taking that trophy everywhere, to Knights games, to golf, and huge congrats, guys. Way to get it done. I know the UNLV Hockey is trying to go D1 for NCAA as soon as they can. I think they got a D2 team starting up soon, like the men's Division 2. So UNLV Hockey is exploding. I can't wait. Hopefully they'll have a women's team eventually. Hopefully Vegas will have a PWHL team eventually. That'd be killer.
That would be dope. I would totally go to a team, especially if the Minnesota Frost came into town.
Oh yeah, we're big Frost fans here at ROKH. But I think if Vegas gets a team, I would hop on board quickly. I think most of Vegas would hop on. You see how well expansion teams do in Vegas, so I think whenever the PHL does get here, it's going to be a big thing, and hopefully they have a lot of success. So,
what do you think they'd be called if we did get a expansion team?
I don't know. That's
because we already have the Aces.
Yeah.
I almost feel like the Las Vegas Queens.
That could work.
Or is that too cheesy?
It seems a little LA for me, like that'd be
good
for them.
Yeah.
You can't do Lady Nights or something. It's gotta be something
good.
Lady
Nights.
There's probably something.
Mademoiselles.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Vegas related.
Something like that.
That's gonna be good, but you just gotta. I think it's just somebody with money has got to be like, hey, I want this. So,
dude, tons of money here. Golden Knights, the Las Vegas Raiders. We're getting the A's to come down. They started building it by they say 2026 or 28.
I think 28 is when it's
28.
here, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're not like the best, but still, it's an attraction. It's becoming more than just a touristy, spend your
Yeah,
money kind of city. It's
more than just
becoming
the casinos.
right, exactly,
So
exactly. Um, Quickly wanted to touch base before we get into the meat potatoes with the NHL. I wanted to talk about the Hendrickson Foundation tournament. It's up in Blaine, Minnesota, over up at the Super Rink. It's a great tournament. Congratulations to the winners this year. I've only been once, but my God, that's been one of the funnest trips I've ever been on. I went with the Lone Star Warriors, where we competed in the Bravo division, and we rented a hockey house that was literally 5 minutes from the rink. Um, they had an indoor shooter tutor, indoor bar, bunch of different rooms, bunk beds everywhere. They had bubble hockey, um, and just wake up, you go play, you come back. We bought steaks at one of the food lions up there and just grilled out, watched Miracle, just complete hockey trip, and it was probably one of the best tournaments I've been a part of. But again, the Hendrickson Foundation kind of circulates around disabled hockey, so that's everything that we're about. The disabled veterans, that you know um, play the sport for why we do it as well. But then we also have blind hockey, we have sled hockey, um, and it's really, I mean, it's not really cool to play after the sled hockey because you have all those ice picks, so you're just
yeah,
kind of when you're riding on the ice like that. But it's really cool. If you haven't seen blind hockey, they play with this big fucking disc, and it
oh yeah,
sounds
I've
really
seen that.
weird, but it is so cool. Um, but again, it's their catchphrase is "hockey changes lives," and it really does. I mean, we can attest to
Absolutely,
that,
yeah.
and I'm sure there's hundreds of thousands of millions that can attest to that as well. And I know they're really big in Minnesota, so you have NHL guys that come out, some Hall of Fame guys that come out, and they had a game. I think I saw Marcus Foligno was there, John Merrill, who was on the Knights, but also on the
Brock Faber
Wild,
was there too, defenseman for
Brock
the Wild.
Faber, yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah, I heard the game was awesome. The tournaments was awesome. They put on a great show. Hopefully, we can get an invite. As the Las
yeah.
Vegas Warriors or even VVHF. You know,
I've seen them the past couple years. I've been asked by some of our Warrior friends if we were coming up too, and yeah, I'm kind of just getting introduced to this tournament. But I really hope we can go because that just sounds like an amazing time. Especially it's a summertime tournament, so Minnesota in the summer rather than Vegas in the summer. That
oh
would
my
be
God, yeah.
fantastic weekend. And plus, like usually when we go to Warrior tournaments, we're all in the hotel, and you stay with a teammate, obviously, but like the idea of having like a hockey house with the whole team under one roof, like that just sounds
Oh,
like
dude, it's
a
so much fun.
fantastic time.
So much fun. But yeah, that's really it. Nate, if you wanted to go into, I guess, the Golden Knights playoff run.
Yeah, not as lengthy of a playoff run as we would have liked. I did hear that during so Edmonton was a wagon for sure. Obviously they had some struggles in the finals, but they were just smoking it. You know, the entire playoffs. Fantastic job by them, making it to the finals again. But I did hear that some of our Knights were under the weather pretty severely for that second round against Edmonton. So, hopefully everyone's obviously feeling much better. But yeah, second round to Edmonton. Did they lose to Edmonton the previous year too, or was that Dallas?
I think it was Dallas, but
Yeah,
I know Zemi and I were there at Game 5 when they got eliminated, and they took it all the way to overtime. Didn't
yeah,
score, and it was a nail biter. You can kind of see like everybody through the Vegas lineup. They weren't really coasting out there, but you can see they really didn't have a lot left in the tank. Probably because, like you said, they had some funky thing going through the locker room. But yeah, that game winning goal by Kapanen,
yeah,
it was. I mean, that's just a grinder's goal right there. You're poking at it, it's loose. As a defenseman, I could speak from my side of the puck. Like you got to get the puck, not even the puck out, but you got to clear the zone so the goalie can find it. And you could just kind of tell that they were giving it all they had, but just Edmonton, just the continuous attack, and they were they were the better team.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
Yeah.
I think they were probably a little worn down by the time they got to the finals, but like in that second round, Edmonton was like top to bottom. They looked phenomenal. Um, like Skinner was playing great in goal. Like McDavid and Dry were clicking. The whole team was doing really well. It's just a shame that our Knights had to come up against that. So, but yeah, they get a little bit of a longer summer, which is nice, and they're gonna need it with this year coming up because there's been some changes on the team for the Knights. I guess the big one we'll jump into. I wish Sim was here for this one.
Yeah.
The Knights picked up Mitch Marner at the 11th hour, the last day before free agency started.
Oh, yo, boy, a re-sign and trade.
Yep. So Mitch Marner signed. So they did it so they could get the 8th year of the contract for Mitch Marner, and so he got an 8x12. So what happened was Toronto signed him to the 8x12 with the agreement that immediately after that he would get traded. So the last day of free agency, Marner got traded for Nick Waugh, who was a beloved center for the Knights. Not gonna lie, that one kind of hurts a little bit. I'm a big fan of Waugh. Wishing him all the best up in Toronto. He's definitely gonna need it up there. But Mitch Marner coming to Vegas is huge.
I did not see that coming, to be honest.
Yeah,
I thought you guys were going to go out and get a shooter like Brock Besser,
yeah.
but I mean, you got to think, yeah, Mitch Marner and Jack Eichel. I mean, I made the joke the other day where I was like, what are they going to do? Pass back and forth with each other? But
Yeah,
can you imagine them on the ice together, just tic tac toe, and you
I can't
got
wait.
Barbie or Stoner right on the other side finishing it up, or let's say Dorofeyev steps up and he's like, wow, he puts in a lot of work in the off season, and gets this ridiculous shot and becomes that top line spark shooter like Pasta in Boston. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I said it all year. Like when Barbie first came to us for the cup run, like he had a phenomenal, you know, end of his season there, and that's what got him re-signed with Vegas. But like Jack, I kept saying Jack needed like an elite winger. Marner is for sure an elite winger. Like he has an impressive resume. Um, he gets blamed a little bit too much, I think, for the playoffs. But like you said, him and Jack are both playmakers. So it is going to be wild. I'm hoping that they're gonna both be like on board, like, hey, we need to shoot more, like, and so it doesn't just end up with a lot of passes that end up going nowhere. But
I mean, I was stalking Twitter for a little bit, and I think I may have seen some people mention that Mitch Marner, for the last 3 postseasons, he's led the team in playoff points.
yeah, I think this past season he was second. I think Willie definitely stepped up this past postseason. Um, but yeah, I think he's fifth all time for the Leafs in playoff points, fifth all
Yeah, something
time
like that.
for the Leafs in points period, which is wild because I think he only played like 9 seasons or something like that for the Leafs. So, like, in a storied franchise, one of the original 6 for one guy in 9 seasons to make it to the top of Leaf royalty there. It's insane. Like,
No more core 4.
yeah,
It's done.
I've been harping on that for a long time. I made a like a meme about Nylander before he got signed, and like everybody in the Leafs wanted Nylander to get signed there. I'm not gonna lie, I root for the Leafs sometimes. I do like them. I think I'm an overall hockey fan, so I like rooting for good players, good teams, and so I want the Leafs to do well. But I knew when Willie was getting ready for his contract. It was going to be a big one because he deserved it. And I knew if the Leafs signed him to that contract, it would kill them. And sure enough, it did. Like, they made the playoffs, yeah, but at this, sacrificing their depth. So, like this year specifically, Florida, I mean, all year they weren't like anything fancy. Like, they were still fighting for a spot. They weren't a shoe-in or nothing like that, Not the number one team going into the playoffs, nothing. But all of their depth got them, that cup again. Like, everyone, top to bottom, participated in winning that cup. All got points, all got goals. If the top guys weren't getting it done, bottom 6 guys stepped in, and that is what the Leafs sacrificed when they signed Nylander. I kept telling them like, yeah, you want Nylander on your roster, but you can't afford him. I was like, they're barely enough money. If you get him, you have no one else. You have your core 4, and then a bunch of AHL guys, minus guys like Domi and Revo, stuff like that. But, and that's what they had, like, I remember it was like, I put the meme out right before he got signed, and then he got signed, and all the Toronto fans came back. Oh, I guess they can't afford him. And I was like, that's not what I meant when I said you can't afford him. It's like, you're sacrificing so much as a team to sign this guy. Yes, you do not want to lose him, but you can't afford to keep him. And the Leafs fans saw that, over this past couple seasons when you got 4 guys making half your cap. Who do you have left to fill in, They got really lucky with their goalie situation. Stolarz and Wall, they were both fantastic. I can't remember which one. Bennett took one of them out. I think it was Stolarz.
Yeah, Stolarz.
Yeah, he accidentally fell on him,
Accidentally.
in like the first game. And so you're down your main goalie, and so, Wall's nothing to sneeze at, but, you got no depth to keep you in there. So Marner leaving Maple Leafs is huge for the team. Matthews will for sure feel it. I saw something the other day that said Matthews is is the Vegas odds favorite to be have most goals this season. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, yeah, Nyes is good, man, but who is going to feed him? Like, you're losing Marner, which is your number one playmaker guy. Like, maybe they'll put Willie up there with him, but then that just thins out all the rest of your lines. So I don't see it happening. I think the Leafs are for sure going to fight for a wild card slot this year. This coming season. Mitch Marner is huge. It also kind of handcuffs the Knights a little bit. We're going to sacrifice maybe some depth, but every year the cap's getting huge, so I think teams are figuring out that they can, bear these bigger contracts.
And didn't they change the LTIR thing?
Yeah. So that's I know everybody made the joke with Petro when they found out he was going to LTIR, which kind of just disgusted me personally, but I get why they make it because, Vegas is the LTIR poster boy, I guess, for the league right now. But, yeah, the new collective bargaining agreement, I guess, I think it is whatever, like, you still have a cap for the playoffs. So it used to be like this past season, Kachuk was hurt, and so his contract kind of came off the books right around trade deadline time, and I, by no means was Kachuk faking it. That's not a player you want sitting down for the sake of the team, and we all saw him in 4 Nations get hurt. So, but yeah, that opens up your payroll so you can bring in guys like Seth Jones and Brad Marchand, really make a good run, and they're ending that. The big joke is Stone's hurt at the same time every year, and the Knights pick up somebody huge, and they started making that joke with Petro, which, shout out to Petro. That sucks, man.
What is going on with Petro?
He has a lot of issues. I think both his hips are pretty messed up, both sides. So he has to have surgery on both of them, if I'm not mistaken, like reconstructive surgery, which is intense surgery. It kind of makes my spine surgery look like a joke. But yeah, he's I think going for a couple more outside of that too. And he was saying in his kind of farewell letter,
So he's pretty much donezo.
yeah, that he's been trying to limp through it, but for the sake of his family and his health, he needs to take care of it, and it does not look like he will return to professional hockey. So I think his contract will sit on the Knights books, but it'll be under LTIR, kind of like brain fart. Who's the goalie?
Rick DiPietro.
No. The goalie we had sitting the Knights.
Robin Leonard.
Yeah, Leonard. Just like his contract, just sat on LTIR until it fell off, and I think that's going to be all she wrote for Petro, which is a shame because big fan of his.
Well, I mentioned Rick DiPietro because I think the Islanders are still paying him till 2028 or some shit like that.
Oh yeah,
he's retired, but he just has this extensive contract that they signed him to, where they're still paying him millions of dollars. But I think it's coming up either in 26 or 28. I can't remember, but it's always a joke every time around July, where it's like, oh hey, here's a reminder that the Islanders got to pay Rick DiPietro.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It reminds me of it must be a New York thing because the Mets. That's the big joke. I think it's Bobby Bonilla Day. He's an old player, and he gets like 1.2 mil, like the same day every June or July, and like it's that one day. Everybody, like the whole internet, makes a big joke out of it, and it's good for him. Deferred money for years after he's done playing. But I saw something the other day. It was every team's biggest contract, like their the most they're paying for a player, and I looked at Chicago's playing Shea Weber like $9 million a year.
Oh yeah, because they took on
his contract.
Yeah.
And it just threw me back when I saw it. I was like, oh, that's funny. But so the CBA is changing. No more e-bugs. That kind of sucks. I'm not sure what they're doing there. If they're going to be required to bring a third.
No more
goalie.
David Ayers.
Yeah, man, those were always the best, especially for the guys that got to like basically part of your job to go to games every day.
Oh, absolutely.
And, occasionally sitting on the bench and very occasionally getting to actually play. That's like one of the best feel-good stories in hockey. I'm kind of sad that they're getting rid of that. They're doing a couple other things with the CBA, like some good things. I can't remember it all off the top of my head right now, but yeah, that'll come up. I think this year is the last year. Like if teams want to do the LTIR thing, like if they have a player injured, obviously, and they want to pick up a contract, this is the last season that they'll be able to do that, which is what we were talking about.
So what happens in a situation where both your starter and backup go down in the same game?
You're talking about for under the new CBA?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. My guess is they would have to carry a third goalie to all games.
Really?
Yeah, maybe one team, or maybe it's both. Like you got a third goalie that never suits up, which sounds just awful because that third goalie is usually one of your better goalies.
I mean, it sounds like a fucking e-bug. Like, maybe are they required to sign e-bugs now, or is that what they're kind of going to, or?
That could be it. I mean, I can look it up.
Because I know a couple of guys. I know Dudo out in for the Stars. He works a lot with the alumni, and I'm pretty sure he's in the e-bug conversation there. And then I had a buddy, John Messick, who served as e-bug and actually had to back up for the Allen Americans for a game, I believe. And he said it was one of the coolest experiences he's ever had. But it's like, what you run in that situation again, you had to be prepared with something. Do you have like the e-bug attending the game, and then it's like, okay, if you need the services, hey, sign the dotted line real quick. All right, you're in. Or how does that work?
Yeah, it says a key feature of the new CBA is the introduction of a full-time emergency backup goalie position. Teams will have a designated e-bug who travels and practices with the team, replacing the current system of relying on amateur or local goalies in emergency situations.
So they are signing.
A permanent e-bug, yeah.
And
So I
that would
guess
be
it'll be a pro player of some sort.
like a Matt Murray kind of situation, you think?
Yeah, but it sounds. Uh, I don't like the sound of it because it makes it sound like you're gonna pay a professional goalie who could be playing at some level, getting minutes in the game and getting experience to sit there. Like, yeah, they'll practice with the team, which is good, but they're not getting games. Like, it doesn't sound like they'll be able to swap those, like hot swap those. Like, oh, we want this guy to go get some game time, so let's bring in this other guy we have in our system.
You
Yeah,
think they'd be looking at like a guy that's on the back nine of his career, or like some
could be,
rando
yeah.
like Trent Miner out of Colorado kind of thing? Like,
It seems like they're gonna have to be professional of some sort,
hmm,
AHL, ECHL, something like that. Also, the one thing I forgot about is the 84 game season coming up. They're getting rid of two preseason games and making them actual games. And I think it's your full time rostered guys can't play more than two preseason games.
nice. I mean, that's kind of,
Yeah,
you
you don't
kind of
want them
always
playing
give
too
those
much,
depth guys.
anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to injure yourself in the preseason.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's kind of recent night news. Did you want to go into the Stanley Cup?
Yeah. What?
Congratulations, Florida.
Yeah. Big shout out to the Florida Panthers, back to back champions. That is nothing to look at, past. Like, that's an incredible accomplishment. And like I said, like top to bottom, their roster all contributed to winning that cup. You can't always, as the Maple Leafs and the Oilers have found out many seasons now, you cannot always rely on your superstars. Um, Nobody is going to be on every single game. Nobody's a Gretzky. And so when you don't have your superstars who make the big bucks, making those big plays and making the wins, you have to rely on your bottom six guys to be able to get it done and contribute. And the Florida Panthers did that. I kind of think they kind of shot themselves in the foot, I suppose, is the best phrase. Potentially for the next year, because they retained all of their core guys. But all it does is remind me of the Hawks 2015, the last time they won. And they went out of their way to keep all their big core guys, all their big names, and they sacrificed a lot of their depth, which they've relied on. And so it's not going to be a big deal. Bob gets a new contract next year, so he's going to be due for a raise. So that'll hurt. I think for the next 2 years, they're going to hurt for depth. Some guys re-sign for very team-friendly deals. Obviously, Ekblad, that
Yeah,
contract blew me away because he could have easily gone into the 10 mil plus for the type of defenseman he is, and two-time Stanley Cup champion. Like, he left a lot of money on the table, and he helped them tremendously.
absolutely.
They picked up Marchand, which was not a great contract. It's not terrible. I'd probably give that
But
like
he was
maybe a
huge in the playoffs.
yeah.
You got to admit that he was an absolute game changer.
Oh yeah. Like if they didn't have Marchand, I could see them not winning the cup. He
And
was
Sam
so
Bennett,
critical. Yeah.
honorable mention.
Yeah.
Congratulations on 8x8.
Yeah. Sam definitely got paid. I think he also probably left some money on the table. Not as much as Ekblad though. Ekblad, man, he really wanted to stay in Florida because
He's
yeah,
drafted
he gave
there,
them
back to
yeah.
back Cup champ. I mean, you want to go for that three-peat.
When
He's
it
willing to
works, it
sacrifice
works.
money. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And
Another
plus
team-friendly deal that comes to mind is the John Tavares. It's four by
yeah.
four. That's
I
crazy.
I was like I predict I like was thinking if they're keeping Tavares, it's gonna have to be right around the contract that he took, and then I kept thinking that's like almost insulting to even offer it. Like, granted, Tavares is a Toronto kid and they want to keep him, but they can't keep him anywhere near what he was making before. He just doesn't produce as like he used to. And I was thinking if they keep him, they're going to offer him that. And he's probably like, yeah, maybe not. And he could have made, considerably more money at a lot of other teams, especially teams like that are, draft teams every year. So he definitely wanted to stay. I think that contract's going to be good for them because they keep a strong piece. He's obviously not going to produce like, Marner or even Nylander or Matthews, but man, that was a very team-friendly deal, and it's going to allow Toronto to start building back up some of the depth that they needed. They got Michelli recently from Utah. He's a left winger. That's
playmaker.
Yeah, definitely going to help them. They haven't made a ton of moves. A couple of smaller signings they've recently had, but I'm still kind of waiting to see if they'll pick up a bigger name. I know there's some good D-man that are available still, in the free agency and everything, and see if they might make a trade for a good depth piece. But they're going to they're going to hurt this season, but they're going to be able to start building their team how they should be built.
For sure.
How Florida built their team up to this point. Carolina's getting good now. They got K'Andre Miller from the Rangers, and they got who's that other guy? They got the forward,
Nick Ehlers.
Why do you hate
fucking
him so much?
Bum? Because it came down. So he was waiting out and he's looking at deals, and the two teams that came down to it was Carolina and Washington. What does Washington need? They need a top six winger that's going to produce. So me being biased, of course I want Nick Ehlers. Like, we need the speed. We need that superstar talent. Ovechkin's on his last season coming up. Who's going to fill that slot? Would have been Nick Ehlers.
Yeah, that'd
but
be nice for you guys.
I mean, I kind of want to look at it from his. He kind of balanced out like what would be good for his career, and he ended up choosing Carolina. I can kind of see where him and Friedrich Anderson, kind of have a connection because they're both from Denmark. And I mean, that's really the only thing I can think of. To be fair, I was very upset when I saw that because the Caps waited out. They waited him out, and they're like, hey, they're giving the options. And it was really up between him and re-signing Anthony Beauvillier. And almost immediately after Ehlers picked Carolina, they re-signed Anthony Beauvillier. So it was just a waiting game, and kind of you're seeing all these other wingers that could have been another top six guy go to different teams, and just sitting and waiting on this guy. So of course, as a Caps fan, I'm upset, but as a hockey player, like, I get it.
Yeah.
Whatever's good for your career, man.
And Carolina is definitely a team that's on the rise.
God, they look so fast this upcoming year. Yeah. So fast.
They got K'Andre Miller. I think a good start for him. A good restart for him in Carolina. That whole team. I mean, we were picking them this past season to potentially win the cup. And so just adding pieces like this is only going to help them. It'd be nice to see them win more than one game in the finals or in the Eastern Finals, but we'll see. They lost Brent Burns, Zach's guy. Zach
going to Colorado.
Burns. Yeah, he's going to the Avalanche. Our guy Zach and Brent Burns have a little, I suppose, pen palmanship going on.
Yep. They keep in touch.
Yeah. So Zach was excited. Burnsy will be a little bit closer now.
Yeah, there you go.
Part of me was kind of hoping like we could get Burnsy in the Knights, but we don't have the money for that, unfortunately. And Burnsy's an older fellow, so it probably wouldn't be a big help to the Knights. But the Knights are definitely going to be hurting defensively. They lost Haig and Petro now, so really going to be relying on depth D there. I think Rasmus Anderson, he's potential talks that the Knights are still kind of chasing after for D, right?
Yeah, he's stuck in Calgary, but he is for sure a top two defenseman. Right-handed shot. He's got a bite to his game. Yeah, he's an ideal top two right-handed defenseman, and definitely losing Petro kind of opens that avenue and that gate up much more. Man, that would be crazy. It's like if you're gonna trade for him, maybe what are you giving them in return? You know, or do you wait and see if you can get him on the market, which I highly doubt.
I've seen McCrimmon make statements that Willie is zero chance of going anywhere. Oh, excuse me. Hurdle, no chance going anywhere. Who was the other one? I think it was Theodore.
Yeah.
He said there were a few guys that he had to call personally and be like, there's zero chance you're getting traded. Please do not listen to anything. Do not worry. You're untradeable. You are a part of this, what we're building. So I thought Hurdle was going to be one of the pieces getting moved to help make room for his contract. I mean, honestly, the Knights don't have a lot of cap space left. Like the Petro going to LTIR definitely helped a lot. There's, the cap obviously goes up a good amount this season, but I mean, they still got guys to pay. Not as much. I think Florida's hurt a little bit more in their depth than the Vegas is, because Vegas only had a couple guys that were UFAs this season. I want to say Florida had 6 that were UFAs. I think 2 of them they re-signed. We saw a guy that's like Schmidt go out to Utah. Was kind of hoping again for a reunion for the Knights, but no big deal. And so you also have to worry about Jack is due a contract this coming season, and he's probably going to need a raise. And I guarantee him and Marner are going to excel, and he's going to put up a lot of points, and he's going to really have that kind of that demand, like showing he's worth a lot. He's was damn near won the Conn Smythe when they won. He won the Cup his first playoff season. He's been the team's all-star since he's got here and started playing. So
that's exactly it. Yeah. He's a Vegas all-star, and he's gonna get paid what he's worth.
Yeah, and I hope they keep him, because when Stoner eventually moves on, Jack's the shoe-in for the captaincy at that point. I'll be kind of excited for that.
You think Stoner's on the line there? Think he's towing the line?
I don't know. I think he's still got some hockey left in him. I mean, he does get hurt a lot, but he's a core piece. Like I always kind of laugh when I see people say like, "Oh, Stone's hurt. How convenient," to the LTIR. But Vegas plays considerably better with Stone on the ice. Like they play a lot worse every time he's out, and so he's a key piece. I feel like he's headed towards like Petro, where he's just getting hurt too much. Like I don't want him gone, because he is a great player, especially in this system. But like I wonder how long his body can take, because I don't think. Obviously, all the LTIR stuff is checked out by the NHL, verified to make sure it's true. So I personally know he's got, like when he ruptured his spleen, like I know the people that took him to the hospital, because I've come from that background. But like I wonder how long he can take, and I know every time he comes back for the playoffs, like he's coming back just because he's a valuable piece, and the Knights need him, not because he's surprisingly healthy. So
I feel like you have to kind of gauge where the remaining season of his contract goes and how he performs, because I mean if he blows up his game and kind of pops off and really takes Vegas for the remainder of his contract, to into the playoffs, he's gonna ask for a raise, but if he's kind of sitting right out where he's at now, where he keeps sustaining injuries and is still contributing but just can't stay healthy, I could easily see him taking a pay cut, potentially, to help out the team. But He is the captain, and he is a core part of the group. So
Absolutely, and it surprises me. Like, Stoney, I love you, and I'm sorry for saying this, but you look a lot older than you actually are. Because I remember I looked up his age before, and I just looked it up to make sure I was right. He's only 33. He's like same age as you, I think, right?
yep,
So, man, I mean, the NHL is brutal. That's
I don't know. I
hands
couldn't
down, without a
imagine.
doubt.
Could not imagine at this age going in there and
Man, I
battling
got,
against 20-year-old kids that are double my height. It's
yeah,
like,
right.
oh my god.
I gotta think. I gotta wonder if he's gonna command a bigger salary or if he's gonna, try to remain where he is or maybe a little bit less because he's. I'm not sure when he's due for his new contract.
I think
But
he's got a minute.
yeah, he's making just over 7 right now. I don't have the link up for his contract, but
Yeah, let's getting toward the end here because wife's
yeah,
asking to go to sleep. So um, let's talk about Edmonton.
yeah, Edmonton. I'm not overly surprised. Like I was definitely rooting for Edmonton. They were not my
Same.
number one out of the last 4, but I was out of the last 2 for sure. I was rooting for Edmonton. Um, Nothing against Florida. I love Florida. There's some damn good players there, and it's cool to see them win a cup. Like guys like Seth Jones won his first cup. Nosek, former Knight, won his first cup. Schmidt won his first cup, former Knight. So it was good to see them win, and they for damn sure earned it. But I was kind of hoping McDavid would get his first cup.
Someone new.
Um,
I like it when
yeah,
someone new wins.
but depth is kind of what killed them. I know towards the end I seen that really only their top 3 forward lines and their top 2 D lines were getting any kind of ice time. The bottom end guys couldn't even make it out there. So you're sending McDavid and Draisaitl out constantly. They were short Hyman, which is just a dagger through the heart for them because he is that extra piece on that top line with McDavid. He got hurt in Dallas, and so you're without him for the finals, which they definitely needed. Hoping Corey Perry, who made some damn good plays, in the finals.
Good luck with the
Especially,
Kings.
yeah, he got traded to the Kings. I don't think he got traded. He
I think he
was free
signed.
agency. Yeah, he signed
Yeah.
with the Kings. I don't think the Kings are going to be in the finals though, but
You don't think so? Quentin
no,
Byfield's looking pretty nasty up in the
Byfield is
middle.
extremely nasty. A phenomenal player, and it's always fun to watch him play. But I don't think the Kings have it in them to make it all the way through. They'll
So
be a playoff team for sure.
biggest thing from my point of view was Edmonton's goaltending.
Yeah,
Like, I understand the injuries, but Stanley Cup final, man, like those are your guys. I feel like Skinner just wasn't it. I don't think he's it. Um,
no,
he's been given the opportunity twice, and it almost kind of reminds me of an Ilya Samsonov
yeah,
situation where Toronto, was it last year or the year before that, Toronto was riding Ilya Samsonov as their number one goalie. And the first thing I was telling my Toronto buddies, as a Caps fan, I was like, he cracks under pressure. He is not a reliable goalie. Yeah, he looks great in the regular season when he gets the starts, but he can't handle the pressure. I watch him in Toronto, he's fumbling pucks. He looks like a cardboard out there. And
yeah,
that's kind of the same thing as Skinner. He looked fantastic in every regular season that I've seen him play. But you get to the playoffs and he just can't handle the pressure. He's shaky, and you get a guy like Calvin, Pickard that comes in and he's phenomenal. You feel like that's the answer, and then he gets hurt, a la Sam Bennett. Surprise, right?
yeah,
And as soon as that happened, watching that Stanley Cup final, I was like, in my head, I was like, that's it. That was your guy. Skinner's not it. Now, I'm sure Edmonton fans would fucking eat my school lunch for saying that, but that's from my point of view.
I feel
The
like
product is there.
yeah, I feel like a lot of Edmonton fans are on the same page as you actually, because like Skinner got a lot of like death threats and hate mail.
That
At the
and
start of
that's
the finals
disgusting.
there. Yeah. No place in that in hockey, guys. You can't even
Absolutely
say that
not.
shit. But yeah, I don't feel like I don't want to call him a backup because I don't feel like I feel like he's too good to be a backup. He'd be a great 2 and a 1-2, kind of like Swayman and
Like a 1A 1B kind of.
yeah, yeah. So he'd be a great 1B, but I mean he's pretty inconsistent at probably the worst times. He is definitely an elite goaltender.
He's young, so he's got time to grow and work, and
Yeah,
of course I wish the best for him, but I mean it's 2 years back to back, man. Like
yeah.
I'm sure Edmonton's front office is really scratching their heads.
I remember there
What
was
they should do.
the one goal. I think it was Game 6. There was this weird, like he got shot on, and it was an easy, save for him. But instead of gloving it and ending the play right there, he bat it to the other side, and I want to say it wasn't Bennett, but maybe Reinhardt or someone. They came up and immediately scored. And I watched that game, and watching him bat it to the other side, I was like, why didn't you just
Eat
catch
it.
it?
Yeah.
You had. It's not like he had a ton of traffic in front of him. No one was in front of him. It was a wide open shot. You glove it and end the play, but he bat it. I was like, well, that's stupid, and immediately got picked up and shot on to score. Like in an elimination game of all things, it's like, what were you doing, man? Like,
Yeah.
I have zero room to talk. I am not at that level. But
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's just the hockey fan coming out of you, man.
yeah, like
You're
Captain
not yelling at the
Hindsight,
TV, say shoot.
Yeah, Captain Hindsight, I can look at that and be like, why, man? Like, you're definitely better than that. And like,
Yeah.
it was just insane. And like, there was times like that. I mean, there's some goals obviously is not the goalie's fault, right? Like your team plays bad in front of you sometimes. Sometimes the shooter just gets a phenomenal shot off. But there was quite a few times that Skinner should have got these saves, and he just could not make it happen. He got pulled early in these playoffs for Lucy Picard, their backup guy, and I think until the finals, Picard was undefeated.
He was lights out. Yeah.
Yeah, he got
I would
hurt,
not be
obviously.
surprised if they brought him back for sure.
Yes, he got hurt obviously, and I think when they put him in the finals, he probably wasn't 100%. Just he was out there because he was their backup guy and the player the team needed him to be. But yeah, man, goaltending definitely killed them. I feel like Skinner and Picard are both 1Bs.
Oh
Definitely
yeah.
not 1As. Like you can't swap them out and your problem's solved.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get rid of one if I'm Edmonton, and bring in 1A. You need to find 1A. However, that
Or
has to
Skinner
happen.
puts in the work in the off season. That's he's young. He's still young.
Yeah,
And like you said, he's got so much potential, man.
Yeah.
But
It's,
just got to put in the work.
I don't know. And like it's hard for me to try to predict Edmonton's future because McDavid, this is his contract year. Obviously, he probably wants to stay in Edmonton.
Oh, he's gonna get a
Draisaitl just
payday.
signed-
He's not
yeah.
going anywhere.
Well, that's debatable. Like he did a presser where he said winning is the most important thing. I could see him taking a short contract, like a short extension, and saying you have these next 2 to 3 years to field a team that can help us win. And if not, I have a good enough history of being on this team as the best player in the world, potentially all time. Respect to Gretzky and Crosby and all them.
Do you know
like-
how much the hockey world would implode if
Oh, yeah.
McDavid got like a 2x12? like,
Yeah.
like what the fuck? Like, why is it only 2 years?
Yeah. I fully if yeah, I don't think they're winning again this year. Like they might make it all the way to the finals again. I don't think they're going to win. They haven't added enough pieces. They don't have enough depth. Goaltending is still a major issue for them. I could see McDavid taking a short contract and that being like the deciding factor. Be like, you have until the end of this contract to put together a good team, because they have had way too many number one picks. They have way too much time to field a good team to play with McDavid and Draisaitl, and they have not done it. Like they got.
I know they got a kid in their AHL affiliate, Olivier Rodrigue, and apparently he's a hot commodity down there. I can see him making the leap either this year or next year.
They also just got Isaac Howard. We were talking about that last night.
The 1-for-1.
Yeah, Hobie Baker winner, and he's been the U.S. National Development Team. So he's nothing to sneeze at for sure. We'll see if they bring him up this season.
They're already predicting him on the line where Hyman was at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they need it. I mean, they could surprise everyone and finally win it this season. Now that Corey Perry's off the Oilers and that curse is over with them for them. But if they don't, I think McDavid's going to end up leaving. He might do a short contract to begin with to say, hey, here's a little bit of extra time, because I think he loves the Oilers. He loves Edmonton. That's his home. It's
for sure.
Captain so quick. Like, that's his team. And he wants to win there, and he doesn't want to have to leave to win, but he can't stay there and lose repeatedly. So if they do not win within the next couple of years, he'll be gone for sure. McDavid will go somewhere that's probably on the rise, but like you said, he could easily command the biggest contract in NHL history.
Easily, the next one, man.
Which would be kind of dumb. Honestly, he deserves it, but there's a reason Crosby's been 8.7 his entire career, because that's a good contract for him. It's like notable for him, I guess. I don't know the word I'm thinking of right now, but 87.
Yep.
But
yep.
at the same time too, it leaves money for the rest of the team.
Yep.
If
for
you
sure
want to win, you can't take the biggest contract, because depth wins, and Florida easily showed that this season when everyone got in there. I mean, they got a phenomenal core. It reminds me of the Hawks easily, when the Hawks had a sick core in the 2010s. But depth wins, and that's the only reason you're playing is you want to win the cup.
Absolutely. I can feel my wife's eyes burning through my wall here. So let's go ahead and move on to the last segment, and let's go over some major signings and trades this off season.
I mean, we kind of did.
Minus what we covered, of course.
Yeah, I think I can't think of anyone else. Mitch Marner was the biggest one, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Nealer's big. Bozier's re-signed with Vancouver, so he's staying there.
Brock Besser,
yeah.
Yep. That was shocking. I heard a lot of speculation that he was going back to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Back home.
I heard he was leaving, but it's kind of surprising he stayed there. Evander Kane got traded to Vancouver and immediately got assaulted in the street.
Yo, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm speechless.
I saw an interview Revo did today. Shout out to Revo, big fan. I wish Revo could finish his career in Vegas, because Vegas loves him. He was talking about how he despises Kane, and he's like, Kane's just a big shit talker, and he wants to fight him. He's only fought him once, I think, in the playoffs when he was on the Knights still. And it did not go as well as Revo wanted it to go, because he was saying those kind of fights is better for him, he said, when it's just a fight, like that's what you got to do. Like there's no animosity. It's just your team wants you to fight there, and so you fight there, and he's a good fighter, obviously. And he said usually when he gets those guys that he hates, like Kane, he sees red and it's not a good fight because all he wants to do is, beat the snot out of him, like make an example. And I think he's going to be gunning for him again. So far, he's staying in Toronto. I did get to see Revo. That was pretty cool. He comes back to Vegas frequently, so who knows? Maybe hopefully he'll, when he's finally done, he'll hang him up and come back here. Also hoping Petro stays here. A lot of these guys have kind of made Vegas their home, and obviously good tax state. So, but yeah, I mean, there's Knight's got Colton Sistons. That's going to be a huge replacement for Nick Waugh.
Yep.
Man, I feel like there's more. I'm not seeing many on this trade here. John Gibson went from Anaheim to Detroit. They sent Peter Mrazek back to Anaheim. Trevor Zegras going to Philly.
Rejoining Jamie Drysdale. A little butt buddy action.
There's even talk about who's the other guy in Anaheim? 23. I'm brain farting his name right now.
McTavish?
Yeah, there's talk that he might be on his way too.
Really?
Yep.
I almost heard that's why they kind of let Zegras go, is because they had that center depth. They still got Ryan Strome, Mason McTavish, Leo Carlson. I think Isaac Lundstrom, who was their fourth line center, he went to Columbus. I think. I don't think he's there anymore.
Yeah.
Unless that's somebody else. But, yep, nope. But, yeah, there are a lot of minor moves. I know on the Caps end of things, the Anthony Beauvillier re-signing was huge. I think for Washington, they're going to be looking at a lot of depth players. I know there was speculation about picking up Jack Ruslovich. It's still a possibility there, but I think what beat reporter Sammy Silber was saying on Twitter was that they're looking at bringing Connor McMichael down from the wing and putting him at third line center because he can play both. And then keeping Alexei Protas up there with Ovechkin on the top line with Dylan Strome, which I enjoyed watching last season. It's unfortunate for the Caps because they got into the second round and just couldn't fucking stitch it together against Carolina. So,
who's the Russian guy that's they're talking about coming back?
Yevgeny Kuznetsov. So I actually saw something.
Oh, you cut out.
All right, I'm back. All right.
Oh,
yeah, he was caught in goalie gear, but wearing a Knights practice jersey.
Oh yeah. That's Samsonov stuff, right? They're
I think so. Yeah, probably. But yeah, I don't know. I liked Evgeny Kuznetsov. I think he would suffice to be a good second line winger because I heard in his earlier days he had played on the right side, so kind of on his off wing, which he did on the power play when he was with Washington. And then could easily slot over to center. So he would be an interesting pickup, maybe a middle six guy, team-friendly deal. It was just really unfortunate how it all went out. His last year in Washington just seemed like he didn't want to be there anymore. And then the whole Coke stuff, jumping back into play. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, he had a little bit of success in the KHL finally, but who do you think if you had to pick? Where's he gonna go?
Definitely a contender. Definitely wants to go to a contender. You want to look at a team that could use a bottom six scorer, like you said. Depth wins championships. Honestly, it sounds crazy, but I could easily see Florida or Edmonton picking him up, and having him as that Yevgeny Dadonov, like in Dallas, where he just kind of sits on that third line, sees power play 2 minutes. It wouldn't be a crazy signing to me, Let's say 1.3 by 1, see what you can do.
Oh yeah, just to get in for another shot. I don't think I feel like Florida didn't have the
Fuck, I
cap
could even
available.
say him taking a 900. 900 by one just for
Yeah.
chase the cup.
He would have to do that to play for Florida. I was thinking Edmonton too, maybe Carolina.
Well, he was in Carolina before he left. I think Carolina picking up Nick Ehlers and Keandre Miller kind of locked them in.
Yeah,
but again, like you said, he could take a league minimum and ride the wave and see where they go.
Yeah, he wants to win.
Nope.
So, I mean, we could talk about the draft, but
yeah, let's save that for next one because yeah, for sure.
Which is surprising, because Zem and
I know. Trust me, if they were on here, we could probably go for at least another 40 minutes, at the very least.
I think we'd probably still be talking about.
Oh no, for sure. Y'all would still be chirping my fucking turnover muffin. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
maybe I'll have to go on to Live Barn and.
I tried. They didn't cover the time slot. Yeah.
That's awful.
But all right, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, we've had a good chat. This will be up Friday, I think.
Okay.
So
cool.
Finally have a pod back. We are not done. We will keep making pods. Obviously, this is we love doing this. So we got some exciting stuff coming up. I know we want to go to. Zim just got his backyard done, so he wants to go do a pod in his.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Do a pool pod.
Yeah, we'll go. I know there's a veteran page here, Vegas Veterans Voices. They want to get together and do some stuff, so we're going to do some stuff with them, and got some other surprises coming up too. So, yeah, it's going to be good. We're going to have a good next year. We're going to keep the pod going and alive, and
I'm excited to keep getting after it. Yeah, it's been way too long, man.
Oh yeah, this was a extensive break. The pod recording that we did that I just had to delete because it had no sound. That was my fault. Just out of practice, setting everything up. That was unfortunate. Putting my headphones on to edit and hearing nothing. But yeah, and then we got some new equipment. It didn't quite work out the way we wanted to, so we had to shelf a couple of nights. But we have everything back in working order. We have this in case we ever need to. We're gonna start getting some rock spotlight. That'll be we're gonna repost Drew Boyd's interview as the first rock spotlight, and then we'll start bringing in more players. We have a team from Georgia, right?
It's the Chattanooga Valley Warriors. They are very active on social media, trying to get one of their goalies, but we just got to find a time because they operate on the East Coast and we're West Coast. So
yeah, well, so we'll get going. We've had a little bit of break. My back is healing now, so we're going to be posting a lot of content. I mean, if you haven't noticed yet, we've been posting a good amount. So good things coming up. We thank you for joining us today. I'm not sure when the next pod is, but stay tuned.
See ya.